Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button right now. So I'm outside. It's a great day. We got the Jeep Gladiator behind us here. I'm going to go for a ride in a little bit. And I was thinking, for some crazy reason, about the auto stop system. So I got a little industrious. I thought I'd look it up. Look at some facts about the auto stop system in the Jeep Gladiator. You know, I am not a fan. I hate that system. It's caused me problems. I actually traded out my previous Gobi Gladiator because an opportunity came up to get a different one that didn't have the problem. The problem being I would get messages that the system wasn't working, and I believe that caused the check engine light and other things. But let's talk about facts concerning Jeep's dreaded auto stop system. First of all, what is the purpose of this asinine system? Well, it's supposed to save gas and reduce emissions from idling when stopped. So, you know, like if you're in heavy traffic and you're crawling from stop sign to bumper, it stops and it starts and it stops and it starts, and it drives me insane. I hate the system. But the idea is to reduce gas usage and emissions. Now, number one, is it bad for the Jeep? Well, according to most mechanics from the research that I conducted, auto stop start is actually good for engines, especially turbos and diesels. And you know, I found that part to be kind of interesting because most big trucks that I've seen, you know, semis, tractor trailers, they sit and leave their trucks idle. They don't turn them off and on. So I'm not so sure I agree with that. The turbos, yeah, I can believe that. And it's interesting, kind of a side note, you know, we have a new Tundra coming, a redesigned Tundra, and it's supposed to be a twin turbo. So far, Toyota has not put this dreaded auto stop in their trucks. Does that mean it's coming to the Tundra? And I hope not. Number two, does it really save gas? We know it reduces emissions. I mean, obviously, if the truck isn't running, it isn't putting out any bad gases. But does it save gas? Well, supposedly, according to studies conducted, the system does improve fuel economy by over 8%. The caveat there is in heavy traffic. So again, if the truck isn't running, it's not putting out gas, you know, gases, and obviously it's not burning gas. So of course it is going to save gas, and it's somewhere to the tune of 8%, which does add up over time. And if you multiply that by all of the vehicles on the road, yeah, I guess I'd have to agree with that. Number three, is stop or auto stop start bad for the starter? You know, how can it be any good for the starter when it's constantly stopping and starting and stopping and starting? Well, the answer is no, and that's because they actually utilize a more robust or heavier duty starter designed for the system specifically. Now, of course, realize that that's going to add more cost, right? I mean, if you're making or putting in a more robust, heavier duty starter, it costs more money to produce that thing. So we're paying for it. Whether we like the dreaded system or not, we're paying for it. Number four, does auto stop drain the battery? Well, once again, they have accommodated this as well. The answer is no, because trucks with this system have higher capacity batteries so that they don't drain as fast. Doesn't mean they don't drain. I mean, obviously they drain. If the vehicle shuts down and isn't charging anything, whatever you have on, like your radio, is going to drain the battery a little bit more. But we pay for that. We pay for it because we have, again, a heavier duty battery to accommodate that system. Number five, can you turn auto stop off? Well, this is an interesting question. You know, in some trucks, yes. In the Jeep, only with that button that turns it off, deactivates it, right? But you have to do that every time you restart the Jeep. And that's the drag. Half the time I forget, and it's not until I pull up to a stop sign or have to stop, I don't know, behind somebody, and it shuts off, and then I realize the dreaded system is functional, and I have to hit the button. And I know, it's a first world problem. It's a lot to ask because it takes a lot of energy to reach down there and depress that button. But it's just one of those annoying things. To me, it's like a rattle, right? You ever have a car that rattles? Something in there is just shaking around, making noise, drives you nuts. Well, this is kind of the same for me. It drives me nuts when I realize that I have forgotten to push the button and it won't shut off. Now, there are aftermarket remedies for that, I guess. Things that you can get to disable it permanently or turn it off. People have even talked about getting rid of or relocating one of those little plunger things under the hood. Problem with doing a lot of these things is they throw a light. You'll have a light on your gauge cluster that says the system isn't functioning, it's malfunctioning, something's wrong with it, it isn't on, whatever. Which again, I'll equate that to the annoyance of a rattle. Every time you look at your speed, you can't help but catch that light that's on in your gauge cluster. I don't like that either. Number 6, why doesn't it work all the time? I mean, if we have to have this stupid thing, why isn't it on all the time? Well, there's a few reasons. One, the wrong battery was installed. Now, this is interesting because I believe that is the problem with the failure in the Jeep Gladiator. It has an auxiliary battery. If you didn't know, it's hidden down below your fuse block underneath the hood or in the engine bay. I believe they've put the wrong battery in there. It can't handle the system. And when it fails, of course, it throws a code and then you get a light and you get to look at that. Number 2, the outside temperature is too high or too low. Well, I mean, obviously, if it's running hard to cool you, like the air compressor is on for the air conditioning, or I should say the compressor, or the heater fan is running, it's not going to work because there's not enough power in the system to be able to run those things without the vehicle on. Number 3, when the battery needs too much power for the fan, as I mentioned. So if the battery has a drain or has a requirement rather for more power, the system isn't going to function. Leave a comment, let me know, do you hate the dreaded auto stop system as much as I do? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, auto stop free, I might add. And Rob Motive Tundra, all about my pursuit of the upcoming redesigned Toyota Tundra. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.